What's going on, y'all? Five Sports Top back at it with another video. So I'm going to be trying something new here. So for a new segment on this channel, I want to do DFS advice because I do play a lot of DFS, particularly FanDuel. And I thought, you know what, why not? Since I spent a lot of time on it, might as well share with you guys the players that I like on DFS, who I'm playing, the good matchups, and all of that good stuff. So this is going to be a new segment. I can do this every week for you guys. It all depends on if you like it, if I get enough thumbs up, if you guys feel like the advice is good and you welcome it. Please let me know and I will continue making these videos. But with that being said, let's get started. So basically how I'll do this is I'll do it by position. So basically I will give you guys about 3 to 4 guys per position and sort of give you my locks at every position, and we'll just go from there. So we'll start with quarterback, and my lock at quarterback for this week is Marcus Mariota. He is playing the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns have given up at least 2 touchdown passes to every single quarterback they have played this season. Every week I just wait until I see who is playing the Cleveland Browns and I fire up that quarterback. This week it's Marcus Mariota, who hasn't been playing well this year, but last week he had a very good game and I look for him to carry that momentum over to this week. So fire up Mariota against the barely there Cleveland Browns defense. Next up I have Tyrod Taylor, who is playing the 49ers, who are in flux right now. They're just spiraling downward. They're at 1-4. And they're the 22nd ranked defense in the NFL. And Tyrod's been playing pretty well the last 3 games. The Bills have put up 30+ points in every game in the last 3 games and have won in the last 3 games. So Tyrod Taylor is looking pretty good. I'm going to go with Tyrod Taylor. And then third, I have Blake Bortles against the Bears. The Bears are actually ranked decent middle of the pack in terms of defense, but they're a bend, don't break type of defense. That means Blake Bortles will put up numbers here because he will put up a lot of yardage. I am booking Blake Bortles down for at least 2 scores in this one. He will throw picks, but again, it's the yardage, so he's going to be up there with the passing yards. So those are my 3 quarterbacks for this week. At running back, my lock of the week is DeMarco Murray, who is again playing the Cleveland Browns. You guys will notice a trend here. I'm loading up against the Browns. But really, DeMarco's been unbelievable this year. Probably the best back this year outside of maybe David Johnson, and Le'Veon Bell obviously just got back. DeMarco Murray has scored in almost every game. I think he scored in every game. So book him down here. I would say lock DeMarco Murray in all your lineups. In fact, build all your lineups around DeMarco Murray because he is worth the price, even being one of the most expensive running backs on the on FanDuel or on the websites. Next up, I have Christine Michael. I like Christine Michael, who's playing the Falcons this week, because the Falcons, although they're a very good team, they have been outscoring opponents. So that means you can put up points on them. And they have been, you know, not that great against the run. So the Christine Michael, I see him getting a lot of volume here. Thomas Rawls is still out, so fire up Christine Michael as well. TJ Yeldon, I like him this week. I don't love him. He costs only $6,700 on FanDuel, which is why I would prefer TJ Yeldon, because there are not a lot of other good options. Like I mentioned about the Bears defense, they're a bend, don't break type of defense, but really price is the only reason here. And another not sleeper, this is a big name, but Shady McCoy against the 49ers. They've got the worst run defense in the league. I would fire up Shady McCoy if you want to go heavy or more expensive at RB with DeMarco and LeSean McCoy. Next up, we have wide receiver, and it starts to get a little tricky here because I don't necessarily have a lock. I have a lot of guys that I like, and I will list all of those guys out for you. But like I said before, I don't have a lock. Antonio Brown is a no-brainer type of play, so I don't want to say his name, but honestly, he's playing the Dolphins, and their defense is atrocious. They've basically given up on the year, so I would not be opposed to having Antonio Brown as your main guy in your lineup, building all your lineups around him because he's got a cake matchup. So Antonio Brown, again, I just didn't want to say it because it's obvious it's Antonio Brown. The 2 guys I do like this week are Allen Robinson, who is playing the Bears again. I mentioned about the Bears defense. I would really recommend a Blake Bortles Allen Robinson stack here, him being the number 1. And then I also like DeAndre Hopkins a lot. Now, Hopkins has had 2 bad weeks in a row, but he's played 2 good defenses in a row, and he's been getting double covered. So Hopkins is going to break out here against Indy's horrific pass defense. I believe they're ranked like 29th in the league. So fire up DeAndre Hopkins no matter how bad Brock Osweiler has been looking, because he will find a way to force the ball to him. And if you want to go Will Fuller, you can go Will Fuller as well. Same deal with him, you know, against Indy's barely their pass defense. Jeremy Maclin's another good option, and I'm going lower priced here against Oakland. They are sort of similar to the Falcons in which they score a lot, but they also give up a lot of points, and he is the #1 receiver on the Chiefs. Jarvis Landry. Pittsburgh defends the run really well. They are horrible against the pass. I think they're 30th against the pass. Jarvis Landry is a good play as well. Eddie Royal against the Jaguars. The only reason I'm saying Eddie Royal is because he's cheap, about $6,300 on FanDuel, and he's going to get a lot of touches and targets because of no Kevin White, although I am scared about Cameron Meredith. A very good sleeper this week, Robert Woods on the Buffalo Bills. They're playing the 49ers. Again, Tyrod Taylor and a Robert Woods stack here. He's a good sleeper, and he's dirt cheap, $5,500. So I like Robert Woods. And then last, Tavon Austin, who is playing the Lions, also a terrible defense, terrible pass defense. And Tavon Austin is the best playmaker outside of Todd Gurley on the Rams, so I like Tavon Austin. At tight end, my lock of the week, Delanie Walker, another Titan. Who knew? So listen, you got to go with the matchups, all right? This is how you win in DFS. So Delanie Walker, who is actually the #1 target for Marcus Mariota. He does not look to the receivers as much as he does to his tight end, Delanie Walker. He's the best receiver on the team, technically. So I would fire up Delanie Walker, and I would lock him in as my tight end. I like Greg Olsen this week. He destroyed last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he went up for 9 catches, 181 yards, and he's got another good matchup against the Saints this week. Hopefully Cam Newton is back, but if he is not, it does not matter because Greg Olsen seems to be getting all the targets. 2 low-end options. Jesse James, again, playing the Dolphins' bad, terrible defense. He does get red zone looks, so Jesse James, very cheap option. And Charles Clay, again, 49ers defense. He's been coming up late. No Sammy Watkins, so he's been getting looked at a lot more. So those are my plays for tight end. So there you have it, folks. Those are my plays, my locks for week 6 of the NFL season for DFS. Again, I mainly talk about FanDuel here, so I don't play DraftKings as much, so these are really based on FanDuel prices, but I'm pretty sure they're similar on both sites in terms of pricing and whatnot. But again, let me know what you guys think. If you guys like this segment on this channel, if you guys want me to continue doing this. I don't like giving out lineups because that is too specific. But again, I like the plays. I recommend locking in on the guys I told you about. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.